Well, good morning, everybody out there. My name is Doug Smith. We are live on YouTube from the Utica Curling Club. Our feature game for the 11 o'clock draw is going to be an A quarterfinal game between Colgate 2 and RIT 1. Just going over the rosters, Colgate 2 skipped by Andrew Voigt. The vice is Grace Ben Valley. Allison Sabaldo is throwing the second stones for Colgate 2, and Ashley Jones will be the lead. The spare, Hunter Warburton. And Roger Rowlett has just joined us. Raj, good morning.
Good morning. Helps I have the audio turned up.
Now, I see we have Hunter as the spare. Is he still the spare for this game?
Do not know.
Okay, we'll get that information for you shortly. Once the curlers are out on the ice. The RIT 1 team, skipped by Sean White. Chris Halisak is the vice skip today. Jim Bogart is, apologize for these pronunciations if I have them incorrect. And Emily Callie is the lead. So the curlers are just making their way down on the ice. So glad you're joining us. We are going to be here streaming live. These games are played at 6 ends, and then we'll have a 2:30 draw. Oop. Yeah, hold on one second, folks. How's that?
I got nothing.
You have nothing?
Oh, there we go.
Yep. I think you're the second one. We're having some audio difficulties here, folks. We'll get them ironed out. So for those of you who have joined us in the past, we're streaming at a little lower resolution because of all the wireless devices here at the club today. So if you're wondering if you've seen some of our broadcasts before, give us a shout out in the YouTube channel. All you need is a Google account, log on, and we'd love to hear from you out there. Doesn't look too bad.
All right, Colgate 2, the Red Stones. Gets RIT 1 with the Blue Stones here on sheet 4.
And on your left-hand side of your screen, we will have a scoreboard for the games on other sheets. We'll have that up for you in just a second. Okay. As Roger always says, this is not ESPN and or TSN, excuse me. So we're sorting out the order so far, but I think we're Any thoughts, Raj? Roger and Mary Jane are college tournament directors and run our college program here at the club.
Teams have been changing their lineups all weekend, so we may not have them in the right order. We'll try to find out.
So we're off, Raj. So handicap these teams for us, if you could.
They both won their first games. Colgate won a very tight game with against BU earlier last night. Very hard-fought game. I think this will probably be a pretty even matchup.
And did RIT play at 9:30 last night as well?
Yep.
And again,
so this is a event quarterfinal. Looks like RIT has the hammer first end.
There's 16 teams here in this Bonspiel, the region. I asked Roger. 12 of the teams played last night at 9:30, and then we had finished out the first round of the A event this morning at Saturday at 9 o'clock. So we're just going to leave you on this view for a few minutes while we get organized here. Good crowd here watching these games today.
Yeah, we have a lot of visiting parents here taking in the games.
Yeah,
Hope there's a few people looking in.
And the inclement weather we're expected here, so good turnout. I wasn't expecting this many people, Raj. It's great to see, though.
Not much going yet. Colgate is trying to establish something in the middle here without hammer in the first end. Second lead shot for IT drifts into the house side of the 12-foot. Colgate team looking to draw down to the stone, maybe tuck in behind. Looks like it's just going to chip off. Rolls for shot rock, and the blue stone may have just left the house. First of seconds rocks for the RIT team. Looking for a freeze here. Pretty decent weight, over curled just a hair. That rock's still in a useful spot. Skip Andrew Voigt's calling a guard, just want to cover the stone. Just thrown by RIT. Make the raise a little more difficult. Guard shot rock. This was going to come up a little light. Shooter slip coming out of the hack. RIT's playing a quiet hit on that Colgate shot rock. It looks like it just clipped their own stone in the top 12. Colgate sitting shot here, first in without hammer. Looking for a tight guard. Just a hair heavy. This is going to drift in the house. Back 12 looks like. Sitting 2 though, but wide open. RIT with a hammer here in the first end. Looking to clear Colgate shot rock. Not just a piece, but that's going to roll out of play. Leaves Colgate sitting shot, back 12. Now looking to throw a stone, top 12 to sit 1 and 2. Looks like that draw attempt is just short of the rings. Draw attempt by RT, trying to come around Colgate's center guard. This one's going to hang out in the open, I think. RT's now shot rock, but that rock is fully exposed. Certainly available for a nose hit. Might be a little tough to get to the inside to get the roll under the guard. But certainly removable.
Okay, I'm back with Roger now. We have our scoreboard up now, and you can see we're indicating what event that is on each of the sheets. I'll run down the teams and the rosters real quick. Over on sheet 1, a B event game, Hamilton 2. Hamilton 2 is Chris Lepre, Andrew Fletcher, Lydia Sahlberg, and Alex Hirsu. And they are playing the combined team of Penn Villanova, of course out of the Philadelphia area. Penn Villanova is Gian Prosperi. It says the 4th here. What does that mean, Roger?
Throwing fourth rocks.
Oh, okay. Elena Chapman is skipping, throwing vice stones, and Gina Prosperi is throwing fourth stones. Michael Burke, the second, and Jed Dale playing lead. Over on sheet number 1 in our one of our B event games going on today. But back to sheet 4, Roger.
Yeah, really nice soft weight takeout by Skip Andrew Voigt. Came down, removed shot rock, and rolled partially behind the corner to sit 1 and 2.
So there's a look at our house.
So sitting pretty good without hammer. Looks like a force is in the offing. Unless RIT can draw around this center guard.
And as we said earlier, our feature game, sheet 4, is also an A event game. 3 A's and 3 B's going on right here in our 11 o'clock draw. Again, we're going to be on the air all day. Take a break for lunch after this draw. We'll be back on at 2:30, and then we'll have the finals of our event coming up later this afternoon at 4:30.
Looks like RIT elected to remove Colgate Stone instead of coming around the center guard for the skip deuce. Did remove one, almost got both.
That was obviously
just
nice
went over
double.
the top. Colgate's still sitting 1. It looks like that stone on the side of the 12-foot actually might be in for RIT. Looks like that stone is just on. So Colgate needs to draw one in here to sit 1 and 2 to get the force.
I remember Grant, the lefty from last year. What class is he in, Raj?
Grant is a senior this year, I think.
Senior, okay.
This is Andrew.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Andrew, sorry about that. I was reading the wrong Colgate. 2 Colgate
Yeah,
teams
this is
here
Colgate
today.
2.
Yep.
Perfect spot for this would be around that center guard. Need to get it in, though. Make sure they're 1 and 2. Might be just a hair heavy. Oh, it looks like it's sitting down. And I think it sits just in time to be 1 and 2, but they are pretty close together. There is a potential double if they want to throw it for their deuce. But from the ice, it looks like RIT is just elected to draw for their 1. So mission accomplished for Colgate. They can get this force here. Last rock, first end. RIT looking to draw for 1. And this rock is curling really hard. They're by, safely by. And use their backing, and they think they got their 1.
They're looking at it closely from our overhead angle here that you're seeing.
Hard to say.
Yeah, they're going to get the measuring device out, Raj.
So that's closer than they wanted that to be.
So while they're doing that, we'll go over on sheet 2. We'll go over the other games again. I covered sheet 1 already. Sheet 2 is Harvard versus MIT, the Battle of Boston going on in one of our A quarters. Again, I apologize if some of these pronunciations are a little off. But Jacob Meisel is the skip. Jeff Chow, CAO, throwing vice. Anthony Ramacone is the second. Nick O'Brien throwing lead stones for Harvard. And Amanda Liverzani is the spare.
And I think that Sheet 2 game may actually be an A semifinal.
Okay, so again, as Roger, we do have an online draw board. Go to our website, uticacurlingclub.org. Right on the homepage, Roger was kind enough to put up a link to our Google Docs sheet so you can follow the draw throughout the event. So the MIT team on Sheet 2, Andrea Dubin, this is our defending champs, Rod, right?
Yep. Well, the MIT won last year for sure. I don't know if it's the same team.
Yep, I know it was Philip Nadeau, I believe,
Yep.
was skipping last
Yep.
year, but you said he graduated. But I think Andrea was on the roster last year.
Yep. So that was a steal 1 for Colgate. That draw just slipped a little too deep and rolled away here. So Colgate walks away with cheap steal in the first end. RIT keeps the hammer for the second end. And Colgate's Andrew Voigt's calling for Syndergaard. One-point lead here in the second end for Colgate.
And just finishing off the MIT roster. So we had Andrew Dubin skipping, Greg Dooley throwing vice stones. Cody Karcher is the second for MIT, and Alex Hall throwing lead stones.
And Alex is a former Colgate
name,
player, and
right.
he's now in graduate school at MIT, and he's switched allegiances. Throwing lead stones for the MIT team this year.
So on Sheet 3, our B event game, we have some spectators sitting right next to us looking for some coverage of Sheet 3. We'll try to get you some live look-ins as the afternoon goes on here. Hamilton 3. Raj, you said that was kind of like a last-minute team that came together?
They were the last-minute fill-in. We had 15 teams, and Hamilton put together another team for us.
Okay.
We really appreciate that.
Hamilton 3. Jessica Weston is the skip. Travis Roeder. Okay. Now we have some help with the pronunciations. Nellie Green is throwing second stones for Hamilton, and Zach Baker is the lead.
An all-Frosh team, so they have a lot of time to develop.
Okay. So how active are they on our Sunday afternoon program here, Raj? They've been.
Oh yeah, we've had good crowds from both Colgate and Hamilton all year. Less than some days it's been a little short, but they've all been Bonspieling almost every week. So
that's great. And the national championships being held in the East Coast this year, coming up in a month.
Rochester.
In Rochester.
In about a month from today, yes. Today is, this weekend is the last weekend to earn qualification points for that event. So big opportunity here, a lot of qualification points at stake today.
Yeah, we'll have a graphic up for you later, but really Hamilton is one of the teams on the bubble right now looking to gain entry.
Yeah, Hamilton College is on the bubble, and I think they need to get at least 9 qualification points out of this weekend to have a chance.
Okay, they're playing, so back to Sheet 3, Boston University. Senate team this year, Kevin Leahy skipping, Matt Hughes, the vice, Sam Ballou is the second, again, and Lauren Cabrera is the lead. That's good. Sheet 5, another A game going on there between Penn 1 and Bowling Green State. Bowling Green only sending one team this year. I know they always used to send 2, right, in the past, Raj?
Right.
Out of Ohio, about a 10-hour drive. But they make the trek every year. I know we had a lot of love in the chat rooms last year for Bowling Green,
yep.
One of the players. But, we're just getting started here. We're late getting set up. We'll try to have some interviews later with the teams and some profiles. We're having the teams fill out some bio info right now, so we'll have all their data for you coming up later today. So Bowling Green's roster, That's Adam Nicely skipping. Kyle Oakes is the vice. Amy Wolf is the second. And I remember Amy, but from the first broadcast we did 2 years ago. And Kelsey Berg is the lead, and the spare, Paul Gerlach. Now, I know there's a Bowling Green player out there playing for Penn, or is it, no, RPI 1.
Right.
So we're going to get you those rosters for Sheet 6.
Very nice double by the RIT team on Sheet 4, taking out 2 Colgate stones.
Oh, do you want to run the switcher? There you go. The Sheet 6 game, the Battle of the Engineers from Troy, New York. Where I started my college career back in, well, when was it? 1984. Lasted a semester, a year there. So I remember my roommate knew exactly what it was like, biomedical engineering with a, you know, he knew what he wanted to do in his life. I was like, no, I was undeclared. I just wanted to have a few beers. A little bit too intense for me. But I passed all my courses and eventually made my way to SUNY Binghamton. That was our champions 2 years ago in this event. You may
That's
recall.
right.
So if Dan Pearson is out there listening, shout out to Dan down in Binghamton, lives there now. His girlfriend Cassie. Dan, send us a comment. How come you didn't go to the Kaiser if you're out there listening? I couldn't believe when I looked at the online draw board in Schenectady that we didn't have a single Utica team. It's too bad.
It's the first time in ages.
So in the Battle of the Engineers, Chris Shelley is skipping for RPI 1. Zach Wietzma is the vice. Matt Hancock throwing second stones, and Paul Gerlach is the Bowling Green. He's from Bowling Green, but he's playing lead for the RPI 1, the Engineers. RPI 2 is Joe Skulski is the skip. Alex Kelleher is the vice. Jeremy Katz is the second, and Kristen Cardinal is throwing lead stones for RPI 2. And we'll try to get you some score updates now. And Rod, you can take us home on our feature sheet here.
That draw just thrown by Colgate took a left turn at the hog line. Looked like it was going to be a little wide. Wound up in a pretty good spot, and just in front of the RIT stone that was just rolled to the back 8. RIT is going to draw to this stone and try to sit on it. It's behind T line. Can set up their deuce with a nice freeze here. Calling for backline weight here. It might be a hair heavy. And that's just going to slide by. Colgate's going to put a guard on this stone. I'm not a big fan of guarding stones behind T-line. Almost rather sit 1-2 here, and this is a little wide, so. Wide and a little bit light. All right, he's going to attempt that freeze again. Colgate behind T-line. They're shot, but they're behind T-line. So good freeze opportunity here.
Did you watch your Charbonneau broadcast? Did you watch that game? Played back?
No, that was long. That was a grueling game.
I tried to score it after the fact so I could learn a little bit. I think I get in the hang of it slowly. You know what I have to do is just try that with all these Scotty games going on, right? you know, and to see if my percentages match up. Lots and lots of curling on the air. For those of you who are out there listening and weren't aware of this, the ESPN3, which is the web arm of ESPN, Watch ESPN is the website. You can all the season of champion events from the Canadian TSN network are being shown on ESPN3. So
yep, every draw.
Right, it's mirroring their broadcast, right? So they're just picking up the feeds. They actually have Vic Rauter, Russ Howard, and the to-be-named female, right?
Right, the rotating.
Is Cheryl Bernard coming back?
I don't know.
For the Scotties, you think, or? But anyway.
But they'll have the Canadian women's all week this week, starting today at 3 o'clock.
Well, don't tell them that, because then they won't watch us. Okay,
oh, they want to watch this.
8:30. You can watch the.
You can watch the replays.
Okay, that's right. So if you have your streaming device, Watch ESPN is on Roku, the Roku player. If you have a Chromecast device, check it out. All you need is a valid.
Just a cable account.
Right, a cable account. Now, I was telling Roger before that most cable accounts support, like Time Warner supports up to 5 devices hooked up with one account. So
yep,
that's all I'll say if you don't have an account. So
they have no limit on their licensing agreement.
Right.
So
anyway.
All right, Colgate trying to remove this shot stone that was just thrown by RIT. Just a little bit short on the freeze attempt. Really pretty good rock. And that's why you like to have stones in front of other stones. RIT gets the jam on that attempted removal. So now RIT is shot rock.
Not bad. So like I mentioned earlier, we're streaming at a little lower resolution today because of all the network traffic in the building. So
a lot of phones.
Yeah. We do have QoS settings on our router, so we have priority, but it's just not enough horsepower. So, John, if you're out there, I was telling Roger there's a 35.5 Time Warner is offering a deal for 35.5 internet, 35 down, 5 up. So we could talk more next week. It's pretty reasonable. I spoke to the woman this week. All right, back to the curling, Roger.
A little surprising here. RIT is electing to guard their shot rock on the back 4 with a Colgate stone in front. That Colgate stone is easily removable. They could hit that and roll to the wing and sit 2. They're electing to guard here, and that's going to make it a little harder for them to score 2. That Colgate rock that's just touching the top 4 is really cutting down their scoring area for RIT. First skip rock. And this one's going to maybe just slip into the top 12. Actually not a bad spot. Does put the question to Colgate. They're second rock, but their lonely second rock. That could be removed for 3. So Colgate desperately needs to put another stone in the rings here. I kind of like tapping up their stone on the top 4. As long as you don't leave a double. You could also freeze to the stone on the back 4. That would also be a good spot for a rock.
Oh, I have to have my whiteboard. I took it off.
Freeze looks pretty tough, though. I mean, with the way our rocks curl, you've got to come by that high corner guard pretty tight. Main thing here is that Colgate needs to be at least sitting second and third to prevent putting 3 into play for RIT. Shot's off. It looks a little heavy. It's like they're sweeping hard to get it on the back blue.
Yeah, it's a little light. Line was pretty good.
Well, they need a big bounce here. You don't want to leave a double. That's actually a pretty tough double. It is makeable, though. If RIT can hit the Colgate stone, it's just thrown just a little off nose. They'll both fly out of the rings. And I don't think they're even considering it. I think they're looking at a draw. Attempt to draw for their deuce. They just need to catch a piece of the forefoot.
A little surprised they're not going for the double, Raj. What do you think?
The double, I think, is pretty easy. It's pretty low risk. I don't think. I mean, it's difficult to jam it on your back one, I think. It's possible. The way the angles are set up, I think it would be pretty unlucky, I think, to jam that Colgate rock that was just thrown onto your blue.
Well, 6N game. You don't want. Last rock is underway here.
They're just throwing it away. Surprised they didn't at least try the draw to the forefoot on the other side. I mean, all they had to do is touch
Maybe
four.
worried
So
about
it's
being a little narrow and promoting that blue and tapping it up. Anyway,
score of one.
Yeah, scores one, and the hammer flips back over to Colgate. So again, just playing 6N games here. That includes the finals this afternoon.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Allows us to get the Bonspiel in
Yep,
one day.
One dayer. Did you guys ever flirt with the idea of doing like a pool round robin type thing? You know, 4 pools was just too much time.
Takes too long to run those types of events.
Yeah.
So.
I did see it on the College Curling USA though. That some of the events do that.
Well, their championship.
Well, I know that
it runs that way as well. Yeah.
But I looked at some of the earlier events. Maybe they had fewer teams, and that's how they were able to do it. Well, one of them most definitely out west, out in the Midwest somewhere, played that format like earlier in December, I think. So, and then the other events we have locally here are, of course, did Rochester host a college Bonspiel like they always do in the fall?
They did, yeah. So there were Bonspiels in Rochester, hosted by RIT. I think RPI hosted one in Schenectady. The teams in the Boston area hosted one at Broomstones. There's quite a bit of activity. There's one at Nutmeg a few weeks ago.
So one in Belfast too.
There's always one in Belfast. So it's been a very active season here in the East, in regions 1 and 2 of the USA College Curling. Because some of our guys we hadn't seen for a month because they Bonspieled almost every weekend. Yeah, first rock for IT cruises into the back of the rings. Colgate's going to draw down to that rock if they can or tap it back.
It's Ashley Jones, the lead for Colgate.
Not shot rock, but they got it on the rings, and it's above tee line.
Ashley looks new, Raj. Is she a freshman this year? Or new to curling? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I remember Allison. She's throwing right now. Or no, I'm sorry. Keep looking at the wrong sheet. So also we'll give a shout out to our U.S. Curling Nationals are going on all starting today out in Kalamazoo, Michigan. You can watch that. Go to the USA Curling's website on teamusa.org, I believe it is, or just Google search it. You'll find it. And they're doing a live web stream. The guys from TESN.
Right.
Money was raised. Didn't come out of the USCA budget, so they had a private fundraising effort to support that. And so you'll be able to watch every single draw of that event. They do a really nice job. every year.
So you can have your fill of curling this weekend from both Canada and the U.S.
It's crazy. I mean, I looked at the schedule. Did you see the schedule for the USA curling? I mean, there's like 4 draws some days. Like they're doing 8, 12, 4, and 8. So that's 10 men's, 10 women's teams. We can't say the BR World Rep right anymore, but
no. In fact, really only 2 or 3 teams have a realistic chance of earning enough points. And they only represent us in Worlds if they earn points. Only 2 or 3 teams have a real shot in either men's or women's of making the Worlds.
A lot of controversy over that, but still there's still great curling to watch. So both the Canadian women's and the United States Nationals going on this week. Should be, if you love to watch curling, it's a lot of fun. And also the UCC College Bonspiel.
Right here. Colgate came up a little light on 2 come-arounds to freeze on the back, the RIT stone on the back 12.
There's your house view.
And RIT just threw a center guard. Colgate's going to take a little risk here and try to come around and set up their deuce. Usually like to keep that middle open with hammer, but getting a little later in the end. So they're looking to come around, but this is going to slide. This may slide all the way through. And does. And that's the downside of ignoring that guard. Now this gives RIT a chance to bury another stone behind the center guard. Good draw here. They'll be sitting 2. Boy, the line was really nice on that draw, just a little short. Throw 2 more brooms there, broom links, and that would have been fully buried on the 4-foot. First of our 3rd stones for Colgate, and they're going to keep trying this come around. This one looks a little tight. And that's going to spill another stone into the rings. That's going to be second rock.
RIT sitting 2.
So trouble building for Colgate in this end. Colgate with a hammer. They're going to have to make sure they have a path to the house with their last stone. RIT looking to clog up the last remaining draw path on the left side.
Just entering by stones now, right?
Yep, first 3rd rocks. And this guard attempt is going to over curl and maybe short.
That's Chris Halzak. Again, if you want to send us a comment, please do. Just need a Google account, log in. That's the one thing they don't allow. Ustream used to have the ability to do anonymous streaming,
right.
Chatting. You could just send a message, which was kind of nice. I never enabled that feature, but I don't think YouTube does not allow that. You have to sign in. But still a great service.
Colgate trying to get a stone in play here, and they're trying to get a chip on that guard to take scrub a little weight off the stone. It was a little heavy. They just missed getting the chip on the top guard. Andrew calling on the sweepers late. Try to get that chip and roll, but just missed it. RIT is going to attempt to plug that draw path again on the left side of the sheet. Coming at it a different direction this time. And that gets a little bounce and it does the job. Colgate needs to open it up here.
Better wait, that's a lot.
Last of your third stones, you need to open up a space to score with your last stone. Andrew's going to call for the raise. Very risky. If you miss this shot, you may not be able to score this end. One of the golden rules of hammer is make sure you keep that middle open for your last shot.
Grace Van Valley. Excuse me.
The weight on this shot looks pretty good. Just over curls.
Is it going to stay for shot? No, it's drifting too far, but looks like it's second stone now.
Yeah, second rock. Well, RIT can now tap up one of their tight guards with very little risk. Possibly sit two. Yeah, RIT's going to chase this rock behind the tee line. The thinking here is to sit three, but you'll be behind tee. It would certainly leave Colgate an out to draw down.
Scores have been updated on our scoreboard. Big number put up on sheet 5 by Penn, with the hammer taking 5 in second end, take a lead there. No indication of sheet 3. They are playing the third end, but there's no indication of what occurred in the second end yet, so we'll keep you posted.
Attempted takeout by RIT on our feature game on sheet 4. And that rock just sailed wide. I think there's plenty of room for Colgate to draw for a shot around around their stone, their corner guard. Yeah, looks like that's what they're looking at. Trying to set up a skip deuce here where you score your last two stones at the end. The only problem with this setup is even if Colgate can get around here, RIT is always going to have a tap on one of their middle two blues. Trying to draw in for shot rock here. Need to leave this above tee line if you can.
Andrew Voigt, his first stone.
Called him on immediately. I think he thought it was light coming out of the hack. And it does look to be light. The line actually wasn't too bad. Just about 10 feet short. Now, pretty low-risk shot for RIT with their last. They can elect to raise either one of the two stones in front of the house. They need full 8 foot.
Still no indication of sheet 3. I know we have some viewers out there who are interested in that game. Did we know what happened in the second end?
I'm
Another 4?
pretty sure
Okay.
that BU scored.
The early indication is there was another 4, a steal of 4 in that end. Oh, okay. Okay. We're hearing there was a ton of blue and number 2 at the
A
end.
sea of blue, huh?
So that's probably looking like 8 or 9 to nothing going on sheet 3, but we'll keep you posted. Okay, last skip stone for RIT, Sean White.
And a little bit heavy and wide, and actually raised a Colgate stone, but spins harmlessly through the rings. But did they open that up enough for a draw? I'm not sure they did. The only useful stone Colgate has left is the corner guard on the left, and that's what they're looking at. They need to try to raise that in for shot. A good lesson for why you want to keep that middle open. There's 3 blue stones in front of the 4 foot. Colgate has no easy shot to get. They're going to have to try to play an angle raise. Ah.
You know if he's from out that way, Roger?
Well, I wonder if he picked that up when he was at
did they
Nationals
play
last year.
Is that where they, okay.
In Blaine, yeah.
The last rock in end number 3. Andrew.
Need to catch this on the high side, on the outside. This is going to over curl.
Yeah, weight was pretty good, but
The way was good, but
so this is going to be a steal of 1 for RIT right now, right?
looks like it. And when you throw those skip stones, you always like to have 2 ways into the house. Unfortunately, RIT got it junked up front, and Colgate never really cleared out those guards when they had a chance. Left them with a tough chance to score their 1.
So we do have confirmation finally on. So it is 8-0 Boston University over Hamilton 3 after playing the third end.
Two on RIT after 3 ends of play in a tight battle. All onesies. Oh, they pounded that stone all the way down. It just fell short. Mhm. I think the Colgate sweepers thought that would come into the rings, and I did too, but it really checked up as it got out into the frosty pebble on the outside of the sheet. Sits for a corner guard. RIT looking to throw a center guard here without hammer. This guard attempt looks a little heavy. RIT player tries to apply the retro sweeping. It doesn't quite work. And that stone goes through the rings. Colgate has a chance to get around their corner guard now. This one also looks a little firm, but as it gets in the slide path, it starts to check up again. And that's going to sit top 8 for Shot Rock. RIT with a 1-point lead is content to remove the stone from play. Got out just a little bit on that, but removes the stone and makes a nice roll. Colgate with a hammer can ignore that. They can freeze right in front of it. They can go around their corner, either one. Andrew's looking at both options. I like going around the corner here. This one looks very heavy. Well, RIT now has a chance to sit 2. Forcing Colgate to score no more than 1. And they're going to do that by trying to come around Colgate's corner guard, beating them around their own corner. This one's also a little firm, but may hang around. Right to the back 12. Makes a nice freeze target for Colgate. They can freeze on that for shot. This will come up a bit light, unfortunately. That's the one where he could be heavy. He had some backing. Now RT has to figure out where to put the third rock. He'll try to go top 12. Partly under the corner. And has the advantage of cutting off the freeze attempt by Colgate. This end is shaping up to be a force where Colgate will have to take their one. That stone pretty much wound up exactly where they diagrammed it. RIT sitting 3. Ring's pretty wide open. Colgate's going to attempt a come around here. This one also looks quite heavy. Colgate team struggling with their draw weight here in the last couple of ends. Now one slides through. And this time RIT is looking to go maybe middle of the sheet, top 12. Start blocking off that 4-foot area. Well, that center guard, or that attempt to come to 12-foot, winds up to be a center guard. So this actually gives Colgate an out to get their deuce. If they can draw around that center, they can set up a skip deuce. Playing the in-turn draw. Weight looks pretty good here. They can squeak by the guard. Oh, it's just going to be a little light, I think. It did get by the guard, but it's not going to be enough weight. Line was perfect. Colgate's going to have to find their draw weight this end. RIT sitting 3. Rings are pretty wide open, just need 8 foot to score. But they're going to need a path in. RIT looking to draw around or at least block the draw path on this outturned side. The stone's going to slip to the back 8, back 12. So no one's really found a 4-foot here yet. I think the first one to the 4-foot is going to be the winner this end. First skip rock for Colgate, Andrew Voigt. Needs to find his draw weight here. Love to get this buried top 8, top 4 behind the center guards. Still time to set up a deuce. The weight looks really close here. This is going to be just a hair heavy. Might curl to the back one. I think they were afraid we weren't going to get around the guard. Does curl up for shot rock on the back stone. So part 1 of mission accomplished. You got shot rock, neutralized those 4 stones.
Scores on other sheets, that's up to date now. Again, if you are just tuning in, we have a live draw board, a Google Docs spreadsheet. Just go to the Utica Curling Club website, and right on the home page there you will see a link to that draw, and all the teams are listed there as well, the rosters. Again, Doug Smith here with Roger Rowlett, bringing you live action, the 2015 UCC College Bonspiels. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we're into the afternoon. We'll have a lunch break coming up after this draw. We'll be back live on the air at 2:30, and then our finals will be at 4:30 this afternoon. You're looking at one of the A quarterfinal games. Tight game so far, halfway through 6 end games we're playing here in this Bonspiel. Colgate sitting 1 with hammer.
RIT trying to draw down a shot stone. And this was just a hair wide and is going to bounce off. That's going to leave Andrew Voigt with a draw for his deuce. Needs to throw the shot he just threw. Hardest shot in curling. Throw the same shot twice. Last rock, 4th end, Colgate. Trying to score their 2. Sweepers are not even taking a look at it. Now they sweep.
Looks good, Raj.
Needs to sit. Looked like he had beautiful weight, and that's right on the 4-foot for his deuce. Nice skip rock.
That's a big 2.
Well, they couldn't find their draw weight all in, but when it mattered, Skip Andrew Voigt dropped 2 in a perfect spot to get a deuce and take the lead here in the 4th end. Really a critical end in this game. You want to score or be tied or ahead, and the even ends late, and 4th end in a 6-end game is late.
So MIT, we have an update for you. MIT up 6-3 now. Just put up a 2 spot after 4. MIT are defending champions of this Bonspiel. And all the other games now, the other games on the scoreboard, are still just finishing up the fourth end. We'll have updates for you shortly.
First rock, fifth end.
MJ got you some medicine there, Roger?
Yeah, I mean, everyone here at the Utica Curling Club is under the weather with some sort of curling virus that's going around.
Yeah, same here. Just a little rundown today, but I'm starting to feel a little better.
Nothing about 5 cups of coffee wouldn't cure.
That's
so.
right.
Colgate's first rock slips into the house, top 8. They've got the lead now, though, so RIT has really got to force the action.
So for those diehard UCC YouTube fans out there wondering why the scoreboard is down below, it's just the way our camera's on sheet 4. It chops their head off when we've had reports. So we look, usually when you watch later today, especially on sheet 3, we have a little better quality cameras and a little different configuration, so the scoreboard will be on top. And I don't know if I'm brave enough to get up on that yellow ladder again after last year. Our cameras are about 20 feet high, well, not that high. What would you say, maybe?
Oh, they're about 12 feet up for sure, 12 or 13 feet 13, up.
Yep. A little precarious out there, so.
So RIT threw a corner guard opposite side. Playing a little more aggressively to get their deuce. Not sure what Colgate was trying to do there. Maybe come around the corner. Came up a bit light on that one.
So again, I've said this for those of you just tuning in. You can please send us a comment if you're having any difficulties with the video or audio. We'd love to hear from you out there. Just to say shout out to one of the curlers. Haven't had any comments yet so far. Just log in. Just need a Google account and log in. And it's easy to get set up with YouTube Live. They just opened up the floodgates to anyone that wants to use YouTube Live. You know, when they originally started it, they needed you needed 1,000 subscribers. They limited it, so they rolled it out in phases. Just very smart. You just want to get flooded with people. But now it's opened up to anybody. If your account's in good standing, you can. People use a Google Plus. You know, they have the live hangouts on air. That's where this all started. Now anybody with a channel now can have a YouTube Live.
I'm not sure who shot here. It looks like probably Colgate is shot. Looks like that RIT stone went to the back 12. Colgate's looking to neutralize that stone by drawing a second one in. This one doesn't look real heavy. Well, they watched that a long way. Settles for the center guard. Gives RIT, though, a chance to lie two by hitting that Colgate stone in the top 8.
We just had a spill on sheet 3. We'll make sure she's okay. Yeah, she's okay. Sheet 3, the Hamilton Continentals was our last. They filled out our team, filled out our Bonspiel, right, Rod? You were saying earlier.
Indeed they did.
Just all newer curlers, having a great time out there, though. And they're all freshmen, Roger said earlier, so they'll be a force to be reckoned with in 3-4 years.
Yeah, they're the future of Hamilton curling.
That's right. Gaining some valuable experience.
So RIT just dropped a stone beautifully behind that corner guard.
Yeah, it's about, let's see, from that vantage point, it's available for the
Are they sitting 2 or just 1 there?
They are sitting 1, Rod.
They're sitting 1, but
Well,
they're
wait,
buried
actually-
behind the corner.
Actually,
So
I think red may be 1. Red's 1.
right, Colgate's sitting 1.
Oh, he's sitting 2. Okay, I thought you meant like before I looked at it. Never mind.
Colgate's going to chase that stone just thrown.
And for those, forgot to add.
Sorry, they're drawing around their center
Yeah,
guard.
that looks like a pretty good line.
My bad. I thought they were chasing. They're actually drawing around.
So now they're Colgate's sitting 2 now, but behind T line with that last one.
Yeah, but they are behind their guard.
Yeah. Be tough to hit that out without some big weight.
There's a slash double if you can make it, but not many of the players in this field are going to be able to make that shot. This guy can bring weight, though. He's thrown pretty hard. And he just clips the guard. And he gets a double. He gets the wick-whack double.
Wow. That's Jim Bogart. Nice. He does have nice delivery. And
just edged the center guard and then slashed the Colgate rock on the top 8 right onto the one on the back 4. And all of a sudden, RIT sits 2. A little bit of a lucky break there with the tick. And it worked out for them.
they are styling, too, with the pants.
Yeah, those are uglier than the pants I wear.
Seems like more teams with uniforms this year than in the past. Good to see. Who knows? Maybe we'll be a Final Four 10 years from now. We'll have a NCAA-sanctioned curling if it keeps growing around the United States the way it's doing. Just a club level right now. Not sanctioned by the NCAA, but it keeps growing.
A little bit of a spinner thrown by Colgate, but they were tight on the broom, but actually helped them. Ran kind of straight. And they got that almost fully buried in their shot rock top 4. Pressure draw. Pressure draw by Colgate with RIT sitting 2 with a hammer.
So into the vice stones now. RIT.
RIT trying to remove that shot rock just thrown by Colgate.
Chris Halishuk. I'm butchering the pronunciations. I apologize.
And they did get
That
by,
was a
but
nice
it
shot.
jammed in the back. And how did our situation change? RIT is still sitting 2?
They're still sitting 2, Raj.
So just enough. Did get the jam, but the Colgate stone rolled just far enough. Colgate's going to have to play that draw again, I think. The 2 RIT stones are really solidly behind the corner.
Grace Van Valley.
They like the line on this and the weight. They're sweeping it really hard to move it to shot position.
Beautiful
And
draw
it is.
weight.
It is right to the top 4 again.
Yeah, that one's almost
That one I
fully
think is
covered.
better than the last one. They got that one fully buried.
Now, would you score that a 4?
I think I would score that a 4.
All right. We're talking about introducing scoring coming up in future broadcasts. I'm learning. Roger has a good grasp of how to do that. Maybe we can get Dean Kelly, the USCA sanctioned.
He does it in the Olympics.
Yes.
Keeps the stats.
I'll always remember Dean with that comment he made on Curling Zone after the Olympics. That's just, sometimes I think about that. Just
that draw by Colgate's third was good enough that RIT is going to have to peel the center guard.
No, it's a nice looking peel.
Nicely done. Caught a half a rock, opened it up. Now Colgate's got the old lonely shot rock.
Clearing 4. C4.
Clearing 4, yep. We'll give a 4 out of 4 on that one as well. For those who are not familiar with scoring and curling, you score your shots on a scale of 0 to 4, 0 being a horrible miss and 4 being a perfect shot. Occasionally we'll give you a 5 out of 4 for making some incredibly difficult shot.
Are there 6s too? I thought
there are no 6s. Well, if there's a 6, I haven't. Maybe McEwen's shot where he made the quadruple raise double takeout. That's a 6, right?
Yes.
If you want to see an incredible shot, go to YouTube and search for Mike McEwen crazy curling shot.
Right. It's in
and there's thousands of copies of it, yes. You can watch that 100 times and you still don't know how he made the shot.
That's an incredible shot. It was just mind-boggling, really. The only thing I didn't know about that, what was the situation in the game when he made that shot?
He was down 4.
Oh, okay.
And he scored 4 to tie the game.
Oh, wow.
Well, Colgate has a choice here. They're up 1. So your choices are to guard your shot rock, which is, very risky, but, high payoff. Or to throw a second stone in the house. You could freeze to those on the left side of the sheet and sit 1 and 2. Sometimes the best guard is sitting second rock. Team can't score 2 unless they can remove both of your rocks. In this case, it's a little more dire because RIT is already sitting second and third shot. So if they can get the Colgate shot rock out, they score 3. Andrew's going to go for the gusto here. It looks like he's calling for the guard. This is one of those cases where you need to make it perfect. If shot rock goes, RIT's got a 3-bagger in play.
Big update on sheet 1. Penn Villanova just took a steal of 3 to go up 5-1 in that game through 4.
It's like nice guard weight by Andrew. It may over curl a bit.
About the same way as the last one.
And it's a little deep. This wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he freezes this up. And that's what they're going to do.
Scoring. Help me with this.
You get a 2.
A 2.
Yeah, I mean they called for a guard, and this is in the house, and it can be doubled off, or they can remove a stone.
Yeah, line was perfect.
Line was perfect.
Yeah.
They had to go early because he was a hair narrow, so they had to go with a sweep early and hold the line.
So in Roger, what we were talking about, a perfect shot would have been maybe 8 feet shorter than that, but on the same line. That would have been
on the same line. That would have been a perfect shot. So we call this a half shot. Not a bad result, not the best result. So RIT has an opportunity here. If they can hit this Colgate stone in the top 8, top 12, just a hair off center, they could double those 2 off and sit 3. And put Colgate in a very difficult spot. If they nose hit it, Colgate will be shot and will be faced with a difficult decision.
Oh, nice.
And got the double. Hit it just off nose. And
that didn't remove both, but still good enough to, well, we think blue is 1 and 2, red is 3. Blue is 1, so blue would be 1, 2, and 4. Red would be 3 and 5. No, I'm sorry. Yes, you got that right.
So RIT sitting 2, Colgate sitting a very tentative 3rd on the outer half of the 12-foot. I think this is a case where you take your medicine and get rid of a blue rock and give up your deuce, come home down 1 with a hammer.
Yeah, it's a tasty looking house if you're RIT.
If you play this draw and miss it, you're going to drop a 4 spot. 3 to 4 spot here, right?
Yep. And 6 end games, remember. So here's Andrew with his last stone.
Had his draw weight last end, so let's see what happens here.
Pretty good draw weight all game.
They like the weight.
The lefty.
They like the weight.
The southpaw of curling. It's sliding deep and
3rd rock.
So pretty much a wide open.
This will be a draw for 3 for RIT.
To take a 5-3 lead with 1 end remaining. Now you do play full extra ends, right? There's no
Correct.
draw to the button or anything.
And that's one of those situations where discretion is the better part of valor. I think you take out a blue rock and give up your deuce. They still have to, of course, RT would still have to make their draw. But now it's an open draw for 3 instead of an open draw for 2.
And we're cheering on Hamilton 3 to try to get on the scoreboard here. And they just, it looks like they shook hands in that game, so.
I think they're mathematically eliminated.
Yeah. My score sheet only goes up to 12, so we'll just count that guy as a final congrats to Boston University. They advance in the B event. Last rock in
N5.
N5, sheet 4.
This is a draw for 3.
And that's going to definitely.
Sweepers like it. And I think that may be deep.
That's going to
and
slip through, Raj. That's too
and
bad.
I think Colgate escaped here with only a deuce.
Yeah, Sean White's last stone. I mean, very impressive. You see Sean deliver. He does not set the broom on the ice. Did you notice that?
I noticed that.
Yes,
like the Koreans.
Yes, very.
Good balanced delivery.
I could never do that. I mean, that's like that guy up in Canada. What's his name? The third, Pat Simmons.
Pat Simmons. His broom is off the ice.
Yeah, he holds it like at the end. It's very strange, but I don't know. I think the stabilizer is the way to go.
All right, last end in our feature game. Colgate will have the hammer down 1 coming home.
You notice who throws with a stabilizer, who won Manitoba?
Reed Carruthers.
That's right. That was a freaky looking thing. Did you see his new one?
Yeah, he's got
the
almost
blue. It's.
I'm not sure what that thing is. It's goofy looking.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, so let's get you updated here. It's N6. The score is RIT taking 2.
Sheet 6 is out of control.
Right.
Some big numbers out there.
Yeah, we'll get you updated here now that we're all caught up. So let's go around the rink. Hey, you know about sheet 1 is up to date. We have a score update for you coming on sheet 2, so hold tight. Okay, so MIT now up 4, pretty much has this game in hand. Just starting the 6th end here. Great game, our feature game going on, and sheet 5 is kind of a one-sided affair. After 5, it is 10-3, I believe, Rod, right?
Yes.
10-2. Sorry about that. That could, yeah, they just shook hands on sheet 5. So that game is over. Penn advances in the A bracket.
Colgate freeze attempt over curls a bit, but they are second rock in the back of the house.
And as Roger said, sheet 6, what some monster numbers going on. They just
It's a close game, but
8-7 now. 8-7.
it's not a pitcher's duel.
And Hammer, they just finished. So they just, in the 5th end, RPI 1 scored 5. And
they've taken the lead by
RPI,
1.
RPI 2 has the Hammer. So that's going to be a tight finish. So 2 games are very close out there in our 12:30 draw.
Well, there's an opening for Colgate. That RIT tap back or freeze over-curled a bit, leaving Colgate's second rock. Colgate can take out shot rock. They'll sit 2 spread. Still early in the end, though.
You know what I think it is? And maybe it isn't. I think it's those pants that are taking up all the bandwidth.
There you go.
That's what I think it is.
It's the stripes on those pants, right? And that's going to hit and roll out.
You know what's
Sweepers held it. They got the shot rock off.
You know, it's something, Rogers, very interesting that Dave Schroeder came up to me during the Charbonneau and said that the stream was lagging really at times. You know, he had but then the video was perfect. So I think YouTube it's just, I don't know how that is very interesting because we've had a couple lag issues, but when they watch them later, there is no lag at all. So it's pretty, I don't know what happens, but anyway, it's just something you'll see if you want to watch this back later or pass it along. That's where most of our views are coming from. So just 2 stones in play right now. This will be, we're only playing 6 end games for those just tuning in.
And that draw attempt comes up short for RIT, and that gives Colgate a chance. I'm not sure what we're calling here. Why are we throwing a guard? Colgate has the hammer, and they just got presented with a corner guard. A little bit of a baffling strategy call for me. Want to keep that middle open with hammer. Put this right in the house, right behind that corner guard would be perfect.
So we have 2 games going. We'll try to crank the ice shed mic up a little bit for you so you can hear.
Actually, I have no clue why they threw a center guard. I'm pretty sure we didn't tell them that in our coaching sessions.
Yeah, you heard Sean calling him up. It's hanging out a little bit. Weight.
Yeah, it's just too heavy.
Yeah. Well, maybe he knew something we didn't know, Raj. He Zen-like. He knew that was now he could draw around. He likes drawing around the center. We've seen Andrew's draw weight's been fantastic.
Well, they got to get a draw in here. They got to sit 2 at some point this end.
Yeah, top 8 here would be beautiful behind the guard. Allison Cibaldo throwing.
Middle of the lineup for Colgate's been a little heavy all day. Andrews had pretty good draw weight. This one looks heavy as well. And I don't think it's going to hit the fudge path. That's going to go right off the back. Well, as they say, first hog to the trough here. Got it in today.
I don't know about they. I've heard you say that.
Yep.
We had our
That's what old John Mielke is in there.
We had our first hog to the trough reference the other night in our Charbonneau
First
final.
one to the forefoot is what I'm referring to. Is
I love that. It's like
when you get those guards up, the first one to the forefoot usually gets control of the end. No one's there yet. And I think this one's going to cruise. No, it's going to check up. They got into the slide path, and that rock is going to stop.
Yeah,
that's why you don't put the center guard up. Now it's very difficult for Colgate to get there too. They've got to clear their own guard.
No, he wants the promotion take or raise. Or promotion takeout. What do you think he's calling, Rod?
I think they're just playing a straight raise.
Does she have enough weight? Grace?
Yeah, oh yeah, she's definitely got the right weight.
Okay.
They can play the raise takeout.
Well, I mean, does she have enough? Right.
I think they can chip it out.
Like that. You can hear Andrew wants the sweepers on it.
If they get by, this is a good rock.
Oh, perfect shot. Plan B worked out great.
Plan B.
But still, as Roger said, that center guard now.
Well, it provides a hit and roll opportunity for RIT. Now, if they're out, is to get behind that guard again.
That's what they're calling. Coming inside out at it, Raj.
That I'm not a big fan of because it's hard to get to the inside of that stone. You're going to have to come by the center guard fairly tight. I would predict this would curl.
Yeah, I saw your post on. That was good.
Yeah.
About the hit and roll physics. This one looked pretty close.
They got it just by.
That looks really good.
Looks really good, and
wow, nice shot. I give that a 3 or a 4.
That's a 4.
Think so?
As called. Hit and roll behind the center guard.
Did he get behind the center guard, though? I guess that's what Curl IT says. It has to be buried behind it.
That's pretty buried. Well, they definitely took the hard turn at it, but they made it, so that's what counts. There's no strategy better than a made shot.
So now, what was Plan B prior is now Plan A. Trying to chip that out.
Well, and if you miss this and clip the guard, it's fine. You just can't be wide here. You got to make sure you hit a rock. But the weight looks pretty good.
We didn't.
And they might just make this again.
Oh,
roll, and they need to roll that shooter away. There we go.
God, that is a definite 4.
That was a pip.
That is a beautiful shot. Sheet 6 is over. No, we have a final score. No, we don't have it. Or do we, Raj? Did they post the 6? Ah, congrats to RPI 2.
They got their deuce in a wild one.
Good. I like how they hang the final sheet. That's good. Did you guys tell them to do that? A lot of times
well, it helps us.
Yeah, right. It's great. So after that beautiful.
Well, that hit and roll was nice. They rolled it far away enough now that the hit and roll behind the guard is a little tougher. You want to make that roll as long as possible.
Oh, let me get the discussion going on between Sean and Chris.
They got to play the hit and roll, I think, but I think the red stone is going to jam.
I was wondering why it wouldn't work.
I got my coffee in the way of the
That's okay. If you
video
put it
equipment.
there, you're all right.
There we go.
Yeah. So the call here is Dr. Rowlett.
It is a hit and roll. Again, they have to make the long roll this time, but I do think the red stone, the Colgate red stone, is going to jam on the RIT stone in the 12-foot.
You mentioned this.
But they don't have much choice, I think, to get out of this end. They either draw the 4-foot or they're going to play this hit and roll.
And watch how Sean does not set that broom on the ground. A perfectly balanced delivery.
And again, they're coming inside out. And it just over curls. They just get a nose hit.
It's going to be an interesting finish here.
Andrew's got a couple of choices here. He can play the hit and roll himself.
So sheet 2 has completed. Did they help us out on that one?
And he's electing
They
to
did.
draw here, and I'm not sure. Not sure about this. The hit and roll that leaves him sitting 2. Even a nose hit wouldn't be the worst result.
We have sheet 1 up to date for you. Hamilton 2 took 3 in the 5th end. They're right in this game now. Into Skip Stones in the last end.
Andrew's pretty light on this one.
Now there is a fortress out front, so.
Well, the RIT stone is still exposed for a deuce. They're going to have to put a second stone in, I think,
If
to
they draw
get out of
around
this
that-
end.
If they draw around that, it's buried. That's
Yeah, they could guard it, but that's very risky. If you miss the guard, you're
No.
still giving up a deuce.
no. Just I'd bring it right in.
Yep, right top 4. Again, the best way to defend against a deuce is to sit 1 and 2 with no double. And that's what they're looking at now. I think Andrew missed an opportunity there. You really have to go after that stone on the top 8. He has to get rid of that rock with his first shot. Sit 2, force the other team to make a play.
Last stone for Sean White. And he is coming around, as we indicated, trying to bring it into top 4 around those 2 guards. Looks a little heavy.
This looks really hot.
They were sweeping it hard for line early on.
But they're going to take care of the back stone, and that's the game.
No?
There's no way for... Well, Colgate can tie it up.
No, yeah, they're only down.
They can tie it up.
They're only
They
down
can no
one.
longer win the game this end.
I'm saying Andrew's going to send this to extra, Raj. That's where my money is, the way he's been drawing.
Well, if he didn't hit last time, I'm not sure why he
Yeah.
hit this time.
He is going to play the hit. As we said, 6 end games here, but we will play full and extra end if necessary.
Last stone for Colgate.
He is playing the hit with that.
A little overswept, I think. Going to hit and roll
Yeah.
out.
Oh. That's a steal of 3 for RIT.
Steal of 3 for RIT, and they advance.
So congratulations to RIT 1. They advance to the semis of the A. Sean White, Chris Halachuk, Jim Bogartis, and Emily Cowley. Congratulations to them. And we'll see Colgate 2. They'll fall into the C event, right? Rod?
C event, yep.
Andrew Voigt, Grace Van Valley, Allison Sabaldo, and Ashley Jones. And we have Hunter Warburton as the spare on that team this week. So here's what we're going to do, folks. We will be back on the air at 2:30. Yes, Raj? 2:30?
Correct.
Okay, so we have a lunch break. So I will have an upcoming events icon up shortly. I'll set up both two separate ones, one for the 2:30, one for the 4:30. So hope you can join us later this afternoon.
We'll have a C event semifinal at 2:30
Right.
and the championship finals at 4:30.
So we'll be able to tell now who will be playing at 2:30. Could we want to do that real quick? Just to
If we can pull up the draw board.
yes, I can. So that's
C1, I think,
yeah,
is.
let's take a look. C1. So that would have been. Oh, we already have it in there. So
There you go.
We're going to have RIT 3, Colgate 1.
All right.
so we're gonna
So
have,
another RIT
yeah,
Colgate matchup.
We have two same college, but we'll have. We could also stream on sheet 4 as well. And then of course will be 4:30 will be our definite for our A event final on sheet 3. So
All right.
for Roger Rowlett, my name is Doug Smith. Thank you so much for joining again. Congrats to RIT.
See you at 2:30.
Yeah, yep, 7 to 3, and we will see you back here at 2:30. So don't forget to check our online draw board, uticacurlingclub.org. Talk to you soon, everybody.